Alright, you guys. I don't often post about crypto, but I know there are some people who do have an interest in some updates, so I don't want to, completely stay out of the loop with it. I find it to be important. It's exciting and new-ish, but newer as far as like people actively being more interested in it. The stock market in general, anything with like the economy right now is very weird. So people who are on Robinhood who have crypto, who have Sol, MATIC, and ADA. It says support has ended for those per Robinhood. This email came to me on Tuesday. I think I did have some invested on there. I've played around on Robinhood quite often. It's kind of my play money account. Like, if I want to just play around, I like it. Just it's very. I think who was it that was it Ramsey or somebody was talking about like the gamification of like the market, and in a way I do feel like during the Rona it did ramp up in popularity. People started, people were off and out of work at home looking for more things to be entertained about and seeing the economy shifting, and a lot of stuff with the stock market was going crazy. A lot of stuff with crypto was going crazy. There were all the memes that were, and all the pumping scams and all this other stuff going on. So basically, all the email says is that the support for Sol, MATIC, and ADA has ended. That was on June 27th, 2023 at 6:59 p.m. Eastern. It says, what does this mean for you? If you still have Sol, MATIC, or ADA in your Robinhood crypto account, these coins will be sold for market value in the next 24 hours, and the proceeds will be credited to your Robinhood buying power. You'll receive an email with the transaction details once it's completed. If you already sold or transferred your Sol, MATIC, or ADA, then there's nothing you need to do. If you have any questions, you can contact them at their 24-hour link, and there's some frequently asked questions. Does this affect my other coins on Robinhood? No, this only affects Sol, MATIC, and ADA. Is my crypto safe on Robinhood? Yes, we protect all your crypto with industry-leading security. We never lend your coins or leverage against them. And there's all this other stuff going on about the housing market. And, everything's kind of going down again, as should be expected, unfortunately. But, everything's kind of going down. So, I don't know what people think. It's kind of a scary time, but I'm kind of focused on my own, just like building my own stuff and trying to see what I can do on that end, because I'm still applying for jobs, but, I'm also kind of working for myself for free, so, it might not continue to be free, but I'm putting in the work to see what I can make of it. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. We shall see if there's more news about this. I do have some stuff I need to learn and study. If I can wrap my head around it enough to actually talk about it, if there's any important points, then I'll try to talk about them. I don't really see myself as like a finance news report type of person. It's a topic I'm kind of newly interested in and newly getting familiar with since the Rona, like since 2020. I finally had more time to focus on like budgeting and credit and my finances and my retirement and savings, and like I've always had a retirement fund, like it's just from work just automatically deposited, so I was thinking more about like investments. But yeah, I did a lot with that in the past, and well, the recent past. I call 2020 recent past, but I've pretty much been into crypto for a really long time, but it was from another angle because I like the games. I kind of dabbled in Axie Infinity a little bit. I dabbled in Step In, which was a Ponzi scheme, but when it was making money, it was making money. It was like $50 a day, so that wasn't a bad app. And then before those, I got really involved in these little apps where you could get like a few cents worth of crypto or up to like $5 worth of something. It was usually like Bitcoin. Like you could play these games and it would like gain crypto for you, or like you could do these tasks and it would just like passively gain crypto. But I don't really know what else to say about it. It would just passively gain crypto, so I liked that, but yeah, I don't really have much to really report about it. That's just kind of my experience in the past, like years ago, like before it was like even popular. This was probably like, I don't know, like 2018, 2017. I don't know how long ago. It was around there somewhere, though. It was a really long time ago. It was a few years before the Rona. So I used to just go on certain games. They weren't even like popular games. They were just like these weird web-based games where you could just go in and like earn. And it was basically like farming, but through the game. Like, and then I was always interested in like the Raspberry Pi and its potential, and was kind of interested in that, like kind of like the farming aspect. I was kind of more into that kind of stuff, like the techie stuff, just like learning about it and that kind of stuff. But as far as like the investment side, that was never too much on my radar till like around the Rona time, because I started thinking more about investments in general, just because I was learning about finance in general. Like I would sit while working in my room and just listen to episodes of like Dave Ramsey and all this. And I know he's controversial for some people. They don't really like his style or his methods of what he recommends. And it's your finances. Like you don't have to agree with him if it doesn't fit your way of handling your own money. Like not everybody's gonna follow the same route, but it was a good starting place for me. And I've definitely branched out from that too. I've always liked Graham Stephan and Jack. They have a lot of good finance info, even though I feel like lately it's, no offense, kind of a lot of recycling. Like I've noticed it's kind of like that though when you listen to anything. People kind of recycle information. But one thing that bothers me, not specifically about him, but about a lot of people, is like they're always like, oh, the best side hustles for 2024, or like the best AI jobs for 2024, or the best credit cards for 2024, like for some new time coming up. And then it's like, oh, it's all the same stuff you've been saying for like the last 1 or 2 years. And so that always annoys me when it's like, oh, the best, for this year, and then it's like sometimes they forget to change like some of the information in the description of the year, or some of the written information inside of the actual video, and then you still see like previous year's information in some of the graphics and stuff, and you're just like, wait, it says 2022, like what are we talking about here? So it's like sometimes they'll add new information, and then sometimes it's not even new. So I don't know, I get annoyed, but whatever, I get it. People click, right? So why not? And yeah, so I'm gonna need to see kind of what's going on with things, but that, I heard somebody's explanation really quick that Ada is staking and therefore breaking some rules, so they're getting in trouble. I don't know what Sol is doing. I don't know what MATIC is doing. Sol already had issues from the start. People were already a little confused about it. MATIC, I'm not familiar with. So I'm not the most informed person to come to about this kind of stuff. Like, my experience has been more on like interest in back end aspects, not so much on the investing end, but I'm curious about it. I like the topics. I just, I have other stuff that I'm dealing with and working on, so I'm not putting a whole lot of extra energy into learning about this. But the stuff that directly affects me, like, I've had some investments in ADA, Cardano, because I found it interesting, and I think one guy I follow, Crypto Crow, I don't know what his name actually is now, but if you look up on YouTube, Crypto Crow, CROW, like, you know how it is, like, you can't really follow anybody. It's all speculation, and then sometimes it's trends, right? So if you hop on a wagon when everybody's on a trend, you might, make some kind of profit, or you might make some kind of loss. This stuff is so volatile, and it's fun and scary at the same time, but I do think it could stabilize. I just don't know what the heck the banks are doing in the background. Like, there's a lot going on. I was talking to a friend, and like, I started getting worried. I think it was during the Rona when I started seeing, maybe they were doing this before, but I started seeing more news info about, Visa and MasterCard and, different banks getting involved in crypto. Like, once I saw that happening, I started to worry, because I knew something was up. I was like, these guys, they get involved in everything, and they don't play by the rules, as we very well know. Like, there was that bailout that happened way back. I don't know exactly the year. Was it like 2008 or somewhere around there? 2005, 2008, somewhere over. I think 2008 or so, 2009. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago, because I was in grad school, so I remember it. But because I remember trying to get financial aid, and like, it was like messed up, like everything, because I had federal loans, and so it was like the money was coming in late, and like everything was late, and like, I think the house I stayed in up in LA, near like in El Sereno area, kind of close to downtown ish. It's kind of close-ish to downtown, close-ish to like Pasadena-ish. I kind of got yeah, I was kind of why did I mention that? I don't know why I mentioned that, But yeah, just talking about the area, I guess, like, yeah, because of the economy, like, I think something was up with our house. Like, I did see an eviction notice once. And then because it was so hard for me to make sure that the financial aid was going to come on time, I was paying for all my rent and stuff through financial aid, and so I didn't I didn't have money on time during that time, so I only stayed there for like the first year of school, and then I moved back um, to where my family is in LA because it's free to live with them, and was it was just becoming a hassle. I was like, I don't want to pay rent late, and I guess there were already issues happening with that house, but I wasn't involved with that. I just kind of noticed it in the background. I'm like, huh, something's going on. But I think some people weren't paying their rent, and it was just like a whole thing. But I was never involved in that. Like, they didn't really like involve me, and I was fine. Like, I didn't really have any problems with it because I could still commute if I had to move even immediately, like same day. It wouldn't have really been that big of a deal. Like, it would have been an annoyance, but it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Like, I have family like 30 miles away, so it's like it's still a drivable distance. I mean, 30 miles is a lot in LA. It's like a 90-minute drive one way in traffic, but um it was doable. So yeah, I moved back during grad school, but yeah, the economy was terrible back then. And then yeah, when I graduated, that's when I was looking for jobs, and I just was having zero luck. And I interviewed quite a bit, but I had zero luck. And then um, I realized I needed clinical experience, which is why I attempted to get to go to a PhD program. I only survived in that program like 3 years, but it was way different. Like, clinical's way different from like research. Um, in case you guys haven't noticed, I love research. Clinical, I'm good at, but research, I kind of just like to delve in. So that's kind of all. I don't really have much to really say. Just kind of like I'm keeping an eye on things and trying to understand it. But I've also got other stuff to do that's more immediately important for me. Like, the money that I have in crypto, I don't really care what happens to it because I can expect that worst case scenario, everything goes under, and then I'm just like, well, I lost some money. Worst case scenario, I'm expecting I can lose that money. I don't want to, but if I lose it, I lose it. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. What am I gonna do? Like, I've been losing money for a while now. I think a lot of people have been, like in my retirement account and all kinds of stuff. Like, for the past like couple years, like, there's been a lot of money lost. But also because everything's so low, um, you know, typically, unless the stock market changes into something else within the next like 5 or 10 years, typically, according to past trends, it makes sense to invest, especially when it's low, because that means that you're gonna, make a profit usually within 5 years or so, and if you hold that long. But you know, with the way things are changing and with the way technology is changing, and who knows what the banks are gonna do, who knows what the SEC is gonna do, who knows what all these credit card companies are up to, who knows what, is going to go on with AI? Who knows? Like, there's so much going on right now. I could see the potential for, the market to be kind of unrecognizable in 5 or 10 years from what it is now. And they already, play with it and already kind of like screw with it and manipulate things as it is. Like, people are learning how to do that better too, like with all these like memes and all this different stuff, like, like Elon getting involved with stuff, and like every time he even makes like a comment about like a Shiba Inu or something, everybody goes wild and starts buying everything. It's like, and then we saw what happened with GameStop, and like people losing so much money. Like, there was a Dogecoin millionaire who was losing money. I think he lost money, got money back, lost it again or something. I don't know. Like, there's people like that who are willing to like play with like a million or multi-millions of dollars, like I'm not playing with millions of dollars. I'm playing with thousands of dollars that I'm willing to lose. Um, but that's how investments go. Um, I'm not playing with an amount of money that I can't afford to lose. It's there. If I lose it, I lose it, Like, what am I going to do? But sometimes they don't maybe tell us exactly why things are going on. Usually that's the question I have, isn't what's going on, it's usually why. Like, why? So when I start hearing like bad stuff about this place, like maybe Ada's potentially breaking some rules and getting themselves banned from stuff. Maybe these other, those other ticker symbols mentioned are doing similar things. Um, who knows? I don't really know what they're actually doing, but yeah, I've really got nothing to say, just kind of rambling. But alright, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for listening.